Very soon, you're joining me to meet 3 brain tumor patients with a lot of experience with MRI scans. They will be sharing the stories before, after, and of course, during the scans itself. So please welcome Ian and Ching Han and Colin with their stories.
The first time that I went through, did my MRI, I felt a bit nervous because we had to stay very still. Every time I felt like I needed to swallow or like had an itch on my nose, I was always afraid that if I moved or anything, it would actually delay the whole process.
Hearing the MRI had a lot of noise and experiencing it by yourself is two different matters altogether.
I was anxious to know what it will feel like going through an MRI machine.
An MRI, and I ended up sleeping during the whole process. So ever since then, I've always used MRI scans to, it's like a nap. There was a very small space. It felt very confined.
The space was very cramped. I think that was my biggest worry, my biggest fear.
It became very noisy, and I was in the midst of it wondering, when will it end? Because it's so noisy.
They tried to play music, but even then the music was drowned out by the machines. That sound. Yeah.
I do find that the newer machines, or at least the ones that looks newer, are faster and less noisy.
At first, I was a bit confused why they needed to put contrast. But then after a while, I just accepted it. That yeah, this is just part of the process.
Nurse who did contrast injection knows what she's doing. It's not too painful because that's the one thing that is, in a way, pain related.
I was concerned that the contrast, the line doesn't get trapped or tied up when the machine was moving. It got better for me because I learned how to spend that 20-30 minutes that was required. What I did was to daydream, think about something else.
To me, it's mainly after the scans. The MRI, you have expectations, you know what's going to happen. It won't be so different than the previous one. However, the result is always after you finish, where the radiographer says you can leave, Mr. So is where your worry starts, because you kind of, at the back of your mind, when you see your doctors 2 weeks later, you don't know what's going to come up, whether you have to do another round of therapies or you're quote-unquote clear.
Very worried of how I will face further treatment or even the possibility of another surgery.